the village that outsmarted Wall Street. They say money never sleeps, but in a quiet village, far from the glass towers of New York, money didn't just stay awake. It changed, it grew, and it became something Wall Street could never quite understand. This is the story of a place that decided to play the world's most dangerous game, and won. The village itself was ordinary. Dirt roads, weathered houses, a single marketplace where everyone knew everyone. On the surface, there was nothing unusual, but beneath the chatter of chickens and the rhythm of daily life, a different kind of economy was pulsing. For decades, the people here had lived in the shadow of banks that wouldn't lend to them, investors that never looked their way, governments that promised but rarely delivered. So they asked themselves, what if we stopped waiting? And that question became the seed of a revolution. It started small, a few farmers pooling savings to buy better equipment, then neighbors lending to each other, not with contracts, not with interest rates, but with trust. What began as survival soon grew into a cooperative so strong that even the local banks started to notice. They didn't call it hedge funds or derivatives. They called it belonging. Everyone invested in everyone else, because if one family fell, the village fell with them. And here's the twist. Year after year, their tiny cooperative earned more reliable returns than the world's biggest financial institutions. While Wall Street was gambling on speculation, this village was betting on each other. Experts would later try to explain it, how social bonds lowered risk, how trust functioned as collateral, how shared responsibility outperformed algorithms. But the villagers didn't use that language. For them, it was simple. Money was never the point. Survival was. Dignity was. Hope was. Meanwhile, far away, the world of high finance was burning. The housing collapse of 2008. Trillions lost in days. Families evicted while billionaires walked away untouched. And yet, here in the village, people weathered the storm. Not because they had more money, but because they had each other. When Wall Street's towers trembled, this village barely flinched. And so whispers began to spread. Could this small community have stumbled upon a model Wall Street never could? A system immune to greed, because its foundation wasn't profit but trust? The villagers didn't see themselves as visionaries. They were just living, feeding families, holding neighbors afloat. But unintentionally, they had written a blueprint. One that economists and development experts would study for years to come. The truth is, Wall Street has always measured success in numbers, profits, percentages, growth curves. But in this village, success was measured in weddings held, children educated, homes rebuilt after storms. Their balance sheet was written not in dollars, but in lives. And if you think about it, maybe that's why they beat Wall Street at its own game. Because the people in this village remembered something the rest of us forgot. Money was invented to serve people, not the other way around. Today, the story of this village is still told as a case study. Some call it microfinance, others call it community capital, but the villagers don't call it anything. To them, it's just life. And maybe that's the lesson, that sometimes the greatest disruption doesn't come from billion-dollar hedge funds, but from small places, invisible on a map, where people choose each other over profit. Because while Wall Street has algorithms, skyscrapers, and power, this village has something Wall Street never will. Trust. Pause. And in the end, trust may be the only currency that ever really mattered. Because markets rise, banks collapse, fortunes come and go. But the story of this village reminds us, real growth is built on people, not just profits. As we chase financial success today, maybe the smartest investment we can make is in each other. This is Mind Recap, where history, money, and human stories collide. If this made you think, subscribe, and let's keep uncovering the